And welcome back, family, to Marriage or Hell Nah. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I'm over here doing my thing on this Sunday, and I just decided to bring you guys this video because it was brought to my attention, and we gotta have a conversation about it. And what we are going to be talking about in this video is what the hell is going on in these mother and daughter relationships. Now, when I think about mother and daughter relationships, I don't think about what we are about to see in this video. But one thing that you will discover is that some of these women have lost their ever-loving minds. And gents, as we go along in this video, one thing that you will notice is that mothers and daughters, older women and younger women are out here competing for some shit I don't even understand. We're about to take a look at a video that is so disturbing if it is true, but I had to bring it to your attention. Now, before we get into the video, you know I got to do the YouTube stuff. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. But also, if you really want to help me out, that's all you have to do is hit the like button.
Story time. How I found out my mom was pregnant with my boyfriend's baby.
So it all started while I was on a girls' trip in Mexico. Roe versus Wade just got overturned that morning, and I was calling all of the women in my life just to see how they were, to check on them. And when I got to my mom, she was obviously distraught, crying. I didn't think anything of it because she's a woman, raising a woman in America, and she knows multiple other women who would be affected by this. So I talked to her, we ended the call, went back to my trip. 2 days later, I called my mom just to check on her, and she's still audibly distraught. You could tell she'd been crying, and I was asking her what was going on, and she wasn't telling me. And I was telling her, I was like, hey, tell me what's going on. I'm going to get on a flight and come back and figure out what's going on myself. And ultimately, she ended up just telling me, after a few minutes, she was like, I'm pregnant. Now, when she told me that, I didn't think much of it. I was just really happy, really excited, because I never thought that I would have a younger sibling. So I was just congratulating her. You know, I was just ranting, talking about next steps, like, oh my God, did you set up the first ultrasound? How are you feeling? Blah, 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 making funny jokes, talking about names. And then she cuts me off and she was like, but it's Vi. We're going to call him John. John being my ex. My boyfriend at the time, I should say. I asked her to repeat herself because, keep in mind, I'm a little bit drunk. I'm in Mexico, come on. I asked her to repeat herself. I was like, what? And then she says, it's by John. After I heard that, my soul left my body. And everything that came after that, I was not ready for.
Now, fellas, you know we got to spin that back and break it down. Reason being is that it's so crazy of a story. And when I think about mother and daughter relationships, like I mentioned in the preview, I would never think that things like this can actually happen. But as you go on and you start hearing more and more about these types of stories, it makes you say, what the fuck is going on out here? But this is the world we live in, and I'm going to show you how we got here. Now, the young lady starts out by saying that she was enjoying her girls' trip in Mexico. Red flag number one. Then she conveniently mentions that she happens to talk to her mom around the same time as 304 versus Wade get passed here in the United States. So that got me a little skeptical originally. But then as the story developed, I come to find out that the mother is sitting up here in shame and guilt about what it is that she did to her own flesh and blood daughter. So she's talking to her mom, and her mom's just kind of tippy-toeing around the situation. And the daughter happens to find out later on that mom then sit up here and got pregnant by her ex-boyfriend. And you got to say to yourself, out of all the men you can choose in the world, how the hell did you end up with your daughter's ex-boyfriend. And then even furthermore, the daughter says, "Oh yeah, I was just talking to my mom. She told me that she was pregnant and I'm thinking about next steps and, what we should be doing." Notice no sign of a man or in a stable situation. So now we have a mother who is for the streets and a daughter who is actually in the streets currently, just based on my observations. But I think that the mother situation is a little bit too casual for her and her daughter to even be talking like this. And what we are slowly starting to find out is that a lot of these women and their daughters are in competition with one another. How do I know? Because I've seen it before. You got mothers out here who are raising their daughters to have no good examples when it comes to women, and they encourage 304 behavior. Now, due to copyright, I have to mute the background sound. And I've covered this young lady previously before. But when I saw the situation in the other video, it got me thinking, why is mama's need for attention so real? But as you can see, the apple won't fall far from the tree. So just like in the previous situation, mom is sitting out here trying to get her freak on, just like her daughter, instead of teaching her daughter the things that she should be doing. So don't be shocked if the woman we saw in the previous video happens to come out here and be living this kind of life in the future. Like mother, like daughter, you better hope that's not the case. But in case you ever wanted to know where she got it from, she gets it from her mama. Until next time, fellas, choose wisely, but stay the fuck away from these women. Because you can see they got more issues than I even have time to deal with. Until next time, fellas, I'm out. Peace.